Hi guys. So a couple weeks ago you saw us all dressed up for an adult prom. Well, here we are again. No, not another prom. We had a wedding and it was formal wear, so we got to get dressed up.
Yep, our friends got married. It was a good time. We had to leave early because we have to do some stuff, but in this video I built a skid plate for the fuel tank and mounted it, and I got all the sending unit and stuff in it, and I went to put it in. I messed up big time. I put it right where my cross member was, so I had to do some funky fabrication and try and fix what I messed up and stuff. And then there's just a lot of stuff. Drew got a lot of stuff done on the Chevy, and
No, it's okay.
Drew got a lot of stuff done on the Chevy, and then Friday night or Friday afternoon, last minute, we decided to pull that Ford in, and we put a throwout bearing in it, a clutch, and just some dumb stuff. So lots of fabrication, lots of good stuff. I hope you guys enjoy it. Pebbles doesn't.
There's dogs all around us. That's why I have her on a leash, actually, because we have somebody in our Airbnb with a dog. Pebbles. Anyway, guys, thank you all for following along, all the subscriptions, the comments. If you aren't subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. My wonderful husband.
Someone sent us something.
It's to Shannon and Jeff.
Oh. What'd we get?
Well, until I can get a knife and slice it open, I don't know. It's from TD Knives and Adventure.
Oh. I feel like he messaged the other day and said something was coming. This is our crispy plant here. That there's a bird in there, but I'll get my deal and see if we can see him.
Yep.
We'll see what we got.
Oh, it's something in a mason jar, so I'm excited about that. Bread and butter jalapeno. Yum. I want to open those up and eat them right now.
Someone read our mind. We love jalapeno and we love bread and butter.
Smoked garlic powder. Smoked. That sounds delicious. Vanilla sugar and 3P. So I'm going to guess there's maybe 3 different spices in here. They must make these. Why do I know this name, TD Knives? Do you know? I'm sorry, guys, if I know you. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. This looks exciting. You know what? We love to make, what are they? The tortillas. Warm tortillas with butter, and I always put cinnamon sugar on them for the kids, or, whoops.
Don't be wasting it. Don't be wasting it.
Oh my gosh, that smells so good. It smells like lotion I wear.
Well, I don't want to eat well.
Yeah, sometimes. No.
You said it. You said it.
No. That smells so good. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I can't wait to try all of these.
All right, this morning we're going to be mounting the universal sending unit in the fuel tank and getting the fuel tank mounted in the vehicle. So I'm going to try and get this sending unit adjusted where it's working good. I need to get this in the center. So hang on while I center this up. Let me show you what I got. So I've adjusted it. I actually had to take this bracket out to get it short enough, but it doesn't quite touch the bottom and it doesn't quite touch the top. We'll be within an 1/8 inch of each of them. And then I'm gonna have a gasket that goes in here, and I'm gonna actually cut a ring, an aluminum ring, and weld it on the tank that's threaded. That way I get extra threads on there so it doesn't strip out or anything dumb. So that will go in the corner and we'll sweep just like that. Now we have a bunch of other stuff we need to get out and get all the fittings put in and everything. the regulator. We've got a fuel filter for each pump. So you can get all these in here. Woo. We've got a fuel gauge. This just kind of helps diagnose stuff and set the pressures and stuff. We put that right on the regulator. Kind of just make things simple. All my vehicles actually have fuel gauges in the dash and all that good stuff, so works out pretty good. So we got these. We actually have some mounts for them. And then we got a bag of fittings here. So you can get all these. Actually, looks like none of my fittings are the right size. Imagine that. These are 6s. And the ones we got are 8s. That's my life story. Well, I got another box that showed up. Jess and I ordered while we were on the road the other day, and I'm kind of curious because this came from Temu, LOL. But it was cheap as shit, so I figured, what the hell, I'll see if it looks worth the crap. The box was already damaged, it looks like, so that's not good, but I can't even, oh, there we go. Well, I don't know. It looks pretty good. Now, if it fits is a different story. What the hell? It looks like it's the same, and it looks like it fits. This guy painted this thing before, so it just looked all nasty. But my first Ford part, LOL, looks pretty sweet. I think I'll like it. All right, so I just ordered a bunch of fittings from XRP, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out, you know, my layout of what's coming in and what's going out and stuff. And I've got the regulator, and it's gonna go through the fuel filter first, and then, like this is, I'll have a Y fitting on here that comes off the 2 pumps. Normally we would run like 2 of these together on a race car, but we're just gonna do 1 filter to keep it simple. Then it's got 2 pumps, but instead of doing some crazy hoses and all kinds of crap, I'm doing this. I'm gonna jam that baby right in there, and then when I set this down, it actually, if you look at this, there's a mounting deal on this, and this one that I got from Aeromotive fits perfect on a flat surface, so I can mount the regulator and I can also mount this. And then when I want to change the fuel filter, all I got to do is loosen this, actually, yeah, loosen that and spin that off, and I can change the cartridge on there or clean it, whatever. And then my return will come out of here, so it'll be nice and clean. I can mount that on the cross member in front of the tank. So it'll be like this, coming out, cross members right here. All this stuff will be right up there, you know, where it's just nice and clean. And then we can start sending the hoses forward up to the fuel rail. All right, well, I went to stick it up in there, and naturally, the fuel pump hits this right here, which is no big deal. I cut that cross member out, but I left this just to kind of have support. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure where that fuel pump is, and I'm gonna mark the center, and then I'll flip that seat up. And I think I'm gonna go in here and cut a door where you don't have to drop the deal. I just make it where it bolts down. I'll weld a flange in and kind of put that piece back in there when I'm done. So I'll do a perfect clean cut on it, and then get rid of this stuff so it's flat, and yeah, something like that. So hang on while I create some more work for myself. Good things take time, I guess. I know where my tank center is and everything. I'm gonna measure this just to, so 8.5 from there. And then we'll 4.5. So then I'll measure that underneath and mark that floor. Okay, well, I drew me a trap door that I was dreaming of putting in here just to make it easy to service this deal. And at the same time, I'm like, well, man, I better start looking at my fuel filler, which, you know, I just assumed, you know, it wasn't going to be no big deal to come through here and get over into here. Like I'd have to build some kind of a little bulkhead or something. But I got underneath it, and I'm not sure why I didn't really pay attention to this before. We all make mistakes, but let me show you here. This stupid little cross member support that goes up, that's in the way because this stupid cross member is in the way. Like, I really wish I'd have thought this over more and maybe, you know, it would look dumb though sticking out. Like, say that this bumper was the cross member and it was just welded in. That would be ideal because then I could come back further with the fuel tank, get more fuel, and then to get this filler neck, you know, I've got to go on this side of the deal to get the filler neck in it because that's where the tank's at. So I'm really mad at myself because I've worked myself into a hole. But like usual, my dad taught me, well, things don't always work out the way you plan, but make it where you can still do it. So my idea, which is, it's a little more inconvenient to fill the vehicle up, but what I'm thinking is I'm going to build another trap door, just a little one, and I might make it circular where it's just part of the gas cap where it screws down and it sits flush, so I don't have to make a door. Basically, I just make a bracket that hooks to the gas cap, and when it threads down, it's flush and below the door. That way it's pretty simple. And then the fumes would still be underneath and it would seal, like I'd make it where it sealed down on top of this, basically it would seal the bottom off. Then I still have my trap door here that would bolt down. So you'd have to open the tailgate, pull a lid off in here, and then fill it up, which will be nice because then I can put like some big massive backup lights. Like I can put the same ones that are in the front up here in the body where I was going to put the fuel filler neck. I don't know, you guys let me know what you think, but by the time you let me know, I'm gonna be done. So it's probably definitely going to go right here because that's the biggest little section, and I could put it on this side or that side, but these things are not that wide, and I would say we'll probably go on the driver's side because I'm far enough away from the exhaust now. The exhaust is coming out this side, but it's going to be clear out here outside the frame rail, so I will put it right there. That way when he pulls up, the pump will reach it, and most of the time it won't have a top on it, and he can just reach right down here and squirt it full. I've done a lot of them. A lot of guys do trucks like that, and they hide them in the bed. You know, wasn't my choice. I was wanting to do this cool. I wanted to take this out and move it back here and make it, French it in, you know, and make it part of it. So now I'm just going to be cutting this out and welding that back up. So back to work. I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out. Sorry for the delay. Okay, we got a nice clean hole. This is why I cut this out, because of this right here, but I also decided I wanted to make it where I could just like un-Zeus fasten this panel, and I'll flange it where you won't notice, or you know what I mean, where it's kind of hidden or whatever. Maybe Zeus fasten the corners and make it where you can pull it out to access the top of the tank. Literally, I just sanded, not even all the way through, and then I just kind of worked it back and forth and broke the spot welds. That way I did not mess up this. You can see where the spot weld was. So, worked out pretty good. Now I just need to make me a trim ring to hold this up when it goes into the back of the Land Cruiser. So, I'm gonna make it a 1/2 inch bigger than this. And the hardest part that I'm gonna have is making this perfect break right here. So I might have to make some kind of special smash die. We'll see what happens. Okay, this is 14 gauge that I cut out. I drew my door on here, and then I drew about 5/8 bigger than the door, and then I drew in a 1/2 inch smaller than the door. And now what I'm gonna do is stamp this so it matches this piece, and then this will get cut out when I'm done. But I want to stamp it before I cut it out, I think. So I'm going to take a piece of 1.5 inch flat strap, and I've marked it. I'm going to shear that and tape it and do the old smash job. Check that out. Almost like I knew what I was doing. It fits perfect. I can't believe how good it is. Now I just got to cut the center out and get this rosetted in there. Clean that all up. So I just cut in because it was easier than trying to jigsaw this. It just moves too much. But I'll weld this back up right now and sand it, and then I'll punch some holes in here so I can rosette it to the body. And we'll barrel this all up nice, and probably before I put it in, I'll either do Zeus fasteners in the corners or some 1/4-inch bolts. Punched a bunch of holes in it to rosette. I've sanded underneath. Now I'm going to clamp this up here. Get it where I feel like it's centered and whatnot. And then once I get that, then we'll go to welding. And I haven't figured out if I'm going to put Zeus fasteners or what in here yet, but we'll figure that out here shortly. So I am drilling the corners just with a pilot hole so I can stick it in there. And then before I drill the 7/16 hole for the Zeus fastener, then it'll all be perfect. So and one more. Okay, now we can transfer these over to the car. Okay, here's what it looks like all finished up. I got it drilled for my Zeus's, and I drilled 1/8 inch, and then I took a 1 size over 1/4 inch drill bit, and I kind of seated that out so that this rivet would set flush so it didn't hold this panel up. So that's what we got going on. And then that's gonna all be like have a bed liner in here so you won't see anything. It'll be all nice. And then of course our filler neck is gonna go over here somewhere. We'll mess with that once we get the tank in there. So my next project is start making a skid plate for the tank so that I can mount the tank, because that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna wrap it and it's gonna come up and it's gonna have a flange on 4 corners, and that's what's gonna hold the tank in there. It'll be made out of 3/16 steel. And I've already got the initial holes right there for the front. When I do this back here, I'll drill and weld in 2 more like spuds or something like that. I'll probably do a piece that goes all the way through that's threaded. That way it doesn't fill the tube up full of water or anything dumb like that. And I still have to put my receiver. I keep forgetting to pick that up. I might have some over here, but I'm just gonna basically weld a piece of receiver material with a flange that bolts into the back of the license plate hole. I'm working on starting these front plates first, and this is both of them. I tried to lay it out smart where I use the least amount of material, and what I'm going to do is angle it. This will be being the bottom of the tank. It's going to angle up. This is going to break, and that's going to be my front mount. So that's going to be right here. This is going to go like this at an angle, and then that last 2 inches is going to break out right there. And so I'll start by making this plate, and then I'm gonna flip it up and I'm gonna make the bottom plate and then this one and so on. And then we'll finish it up with the last side plates. So I'll start by shearing this, cutting these out, getting them in there. All right, so here's what they look like. I'm gonna window this out, and the reason being just to knock some weight out of it, because it's gonna be hard enough to pick up there by myself. I mean, I could use a jack and whatnot, but it doesn't need to be completely sheet metaled in. This is the front, and then it's gonna weld to the bottom, and this will be left open, windowed, and then, yep, just like that. We're gonna see if we can't get this up in here so I can break the front pieces and make sure that they fit good. Pretty nice. You can get to the fittings and stuff. Okay, next I'm gonna open this up. I broke it and punched the hole in it. Once I get that up there, I'll bolt it in, and then we'll do this side. All right, this is part of the bottom of the tank I used from that drop, and then I redrew this and measured, and I was like, man, I need another 1/8 inch on one of them pieces, and one of them isn't critical, so I made 1 1/8 longer, and then that way I can use both of them. Let me show you what I got going on here. So you can see I've got the 2 front pieces put in there. And then the next thing is going to be, I'm making this piece right here. And that's a 6-inch piece is what I measured, but now I'm making it 5 7/8 because it's not that critical where it is up here. But then I can get 2 pieces so I don't have to make too many cuts. This one right here needs to be 6 1/8. And then that other one that I made is right here, it's 11. So once I get that, I'll get some holes punched in here and put a couple of bungs in there. And then once I get that, then I can punch this plate and then start just welding the pieces together. Hopefully everything works out. So now what I've done is I put my squares on here, my magnetic squares on the bench, and I squared this up so it makes a perfect V. And I'm gonna clamp it to them 2 pieces right there so I can spot it. Then once I get that spotted real good, then I'll probably take them pieces off and turn this upside down on the bench and kind of try and spot the rest of that junk together. It's a beautiful night. Raining. I almost screwed up. I forgot to cut this piece out right here, so I'm gonna do that next. I'll mark that, and then we will figure that out. Get some angles on here so I can transfer to that other piece. Now we'll stick this back up here. Like so. And I just put this right here. Kind of like I knew what I was doing, but not. And I put a line to measure. So 3 inches from the edge here. You ever feel like you just don't have enough room to work? That's how I feel right now. Like I'm being pinched off. I got junk everywhere. After cutting that, I decided this might be a little easier on the bench. It's supposed to be 90 degrees, so a little easier to work out here. So I'm gonna spot this right now. I've got this all mocked up. I'll spot both sides, and then we'll try and stick it under there and see what that does for us. Hopefully it's good. Okay, hopefully I didn't stick it to this other piece right here. We will see. Not bad enough to worry about. Now we will roll this around. That looks like a nice, perfect V. This one could be stretched out just a little bit, so I'm going to spot this one a little more, and I'll give this the old whack. Okay, stand that back up like this, and let's see if I can. I think that moved it right there. I'm gonna hit it one more time. I know it's probably gonna break loose, but that'll be all right. Man, I am just not. Whoa! I love the thunder. There we go. That's a little bit better. I'm gonna go one more time. Perfect. Give it one in the middle. And let's just hope I don't have to break it loose. Because that would suck. Alright. Here's what it looks like. It looks like it fits this pretty good. Now I just need to actually stick it up in there and make sure my bolt holes still line up. And then this is going to get a couple of gussets that come out to here that'll kind of even that up. I messed up a little bit right there, but it's going to work. You won't even know when I get done. It's going to look perfect. Worked out nice. I'm going to get this up on the bench now. I wish I could just go sit on the porch and watch it rain. It's so nice. Smells fresh. Alrighty. I almost forgot about this. This is gonna be the notch out for the receiver hitch that goes into the bumper, so I just want to make sure that's in there. So I'm going to cut that out, and then we can spot weld this last piece on there and figure out what I'll probably do is get these drilled in the chassis and welded in, the bungs, and bolt it up. And then once I get it bolted up, then I'll make a side cap for it while it's in there. That way it holds its shape. I've got this all spotted together, everything looking good. I just need to figure out how to get it down there by myself and get it bolted up. Hopefully I can do it. Check that out. It is going to be tight. I made this skid a little bit wide. I'm gonna have to get it put together and then cycle it tomorrow just to make sure everything's gonna clear, because that's a shitload of work right there. And if I need to trim something down, I still can. Not that I want to, but I still got to trim that off. I feel like I'm pretty good. These don't usually sway side to side, but you never know. I got these all drilled and everything, so I'm going to drop it back down and get my slugs welded in, and we'll figure the rest out. Luckily, I got these magnets to kind of help hold things because it's so slick by myself. I like to not got it in there. Work smarter, not harder. I could use a few more of them. All right, there it is, boys and girls. I just gotta make the side caps tomorrow after I cycle it and make sure everything's going to work. And yep, get her welded up. I think it's gonna look pretty good. I don't even remember how many gallons it was. And then I really like my door right here that Zeus fastens on. Got a couple of shavings, but yeah, that's gonna work out very handy. And then we'll set this seat down and see how far I can come back with the fuel filler. All right, I think it's about 9, maybe 9:30. I'm gonna call it a night. Jess is making me some dinner. Well, you sure know when it's morning around here. Pebbles is losing her mind over the happy howl.
You want your breakfast?
It's insane how much she likes this stuff. She just turns everything down, but you get that stupid little happy howl box out and she does like donuts. Yeah. Too bad she don't get excited about everything else like that.
It'll be gone in 2 minutes. Maybe 2 seconds.
All right, happy howler. Uh-oh, Mrs. Campbell's feeding the birds. Check out these lilies, they're so pretty. Busted out the paint booth this morning. He's working on light bezel piece, and I'm gonna roll this thing out and see if it cycles and see if I'm gonna cry or not, and hopefully not. Hopefully I can move on to the next little project on it. I gotta get some oil cooler lines and stuff on. I started to do it the other day and then I just got sidetracked with other things, so we'll get the oil cooler lines done and maybe get that steering pressure line figured out. I wanted to double check before I carried on with this thing anymore, and that's fully drooped out. I mean, we're close. I still need to trim these off, but look at that, 1/4 inch. This side looks good. And man, I mean, it's a 1/4 inch everywhere. So I couldn't have got any luckier with that. Thank goodness. I was gonna cry if I had to cut that tank down because that was a whole bunch of work. But you just never know, you know, you do stuff, try and get the maximum capacity out of everything, and yeah. So we'll get this back in there and continue on. Better check one more angle just to be sure. And it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good there. And check this out. I could have went a little tighter there, but I guess I just consider myself lucky and move on. I dug me up a piece of 3/16 for the side plate, so I'm gonna get that measured out, and then I'll probably cut a side window in it as well, and then we'll spot it in. And the whole idea, I want that bolted in there, that way when I spot this, it kind of helps it hold structure because it was flexing and stuff last night. And I'll probably try and weld as much as I can of it in the vehicle. Okay, this is what we got. I went with 2 inches here just to give it a little bit more structure. And then I used the 1¼ inch out of the tube stack to draw this. So I'll cut this out and I'll probably just cut in like I usually do and weld it back up. Okay, like always, I cut in here and cut that out just because it was easier than jigsawing it. I can cut straighter with the old bandsaw. and it's easy to weld up. And then once this is welded in, it's just as strong as it was if it wasn't cut through. So you can see this is about burned up, but it still cuts pretty good because there's such a big disc. I can move around. But when I'm doing these welds like this, you don't ever want to dig in because it leaves ditches and looks like crap, and you'll definitely see it when you powder coat it. So I try to keep my positioning flat, and I try to, you know, use the sharp part of the disc, but keep it as flat as I can and just take it until it gets nice and clean. And then I'll go over it with the flap disc. This is 36 grit, but being a flap, it does some nice stuff. And then once I get it like that, then I'll take the DA to it. You can see the difference. This is with the 36 grit flat disc. And then this is a finishing disc. This is either for radiuses or whatever, but you don't ever want to start with this because what it does is it digs ditches and leaves impressions in the metal that you'll see when you put paint or powder on it, unless you do body work or whatever. But it's always nice to just keep it nice and simple. I'll take this over here and I'll show you. You know, I take my, usually I use 80 grit, but this cheap crap from Harbor Freight, it does work good, but it's not as sharp as the old 3M discs I used to use. And the 3M discs, I quit. I mean, I still have it, but I don't have an air compressor, so I've been using this electric one. I wish someone made one of these with the 6-inch stick-it disc. This is the 3M stuff I'm talking about right here, and it works very well. It's probably the best sandpaper made, and it's very expensive. It's called 3M Gold Stick-it, and it goes on these dills, and you can see the sticky stuff, but because I don't have a good air compressor, I'm stuck with this electric thing, and it's probably been, I bet you, going on 2 years that I haven't had a compressor. I do have a friend of mine, you know, the company that had the or that I got the compressor from told me that the thing was, you know, they don't make parts for it anymore, but I know that's a bunch of BS. I'm not the smartest when it comes to looking at things, so I got a friend of mine, Kyle, that he's in the paint business and stuff, and he's got one of his guys working on maybe trying to get it fixed. So I can't wait to have a compressor again. I was gonna buy one, but man, they're the one that I want. It's $10,000 to $15,000, and I don't want to put a piece of junk in there. It's a screw drive, so we're gonna stick to this. So let me show you. This is 40 grit on here, and see what I mean? I haven't done this side yet, but that's how I do it. And the next thing that I'm going to show you, this is my bandsaw cut, and it's really straight, and I always try to leave the line on here, and that gives me a point to sand to make it perfect. And what I usually do is I take this, even though it's still jacked up looking, it cuts very nice, and I'll sand it because this cuts flat. So I don't get into my curves, so I sand the straight flat, and then once I get that, I'll do all the sides, and then I'll go in there with my barrel sander and go over the whole thing and give it like a machine finish. Let me show you. You can see where I stop before the curves. It's kind of hard because this thing wants to focus on everything, but so see how I just took the sand lines out? You don't want to go too much, just enough to flatten it. Now I'll go back in here with my barrel sander. So this is my drum sander, they call it, or whatever, and I get these from my bolt supplier, Frontier Supply. I ordered them in bulk quite a while back, and I've got enough to probably last me till I'm dead. But yeah, this is a 3-inch drum, and they sell the drums and everything. And I try to keep a couple of different tools with different sizes so I don't have to change this out all the time, but I still catch myself changing them out. And, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you should just get a plasma table. Well, to me, a plasma table cuts it worse. I mean, it cuts straight and everything, but it leaves slag, and then you have to go in and clean it anyway. And when you use a plasma table, it puts a hard burn on it where most tooling, you know what I mean, it'll wipe it out, like blades and stuff like that. Whenever you got a plasma cut piece, it puts like the slag piece is very hard, and you have to clean it up anyway. So when I do this, I feel like, you know, I think it's easier to make stuff by hand, especially when you're doing prototype stuff. Now, if you were doing production, I would say, yeah, get you a plasma table, but not even that. Get a laser table or just hire it out, you know. Whenever I get big production things, I just, I've got friends that own all these cool machines and I sub it out. Another thing, when you're sanding with these things, you know, I like the 3-inch ones because I move back and forth, I oscillate, you know, kind of like a machine would do. And what that does is keeps it from burning a ditch in one spot and wasting your deal. And it's always good. Like, air tools actually work the best for this type of work. But like I said, I don't have an air compressor, and it took me a minute to find variable speed, you know, battery powered tools. You know, most of them are just like full on throttle, and that'll just smoke this. And a lot of times what it even does is it bends this arbor shaft because it's such a high RPM, and you just bump it and it gyros it and tweaks this shaft. So, you know, listen to this speed. I kind of use the low speed, and you want to keep it where it doesn't chatter, you know. And like I said, you kind of oscillate and move it around, and sometimes different pressures help. Like, I'll put pressure on it to keep it from chattering, because if you let it chatter, hell, it just takes your straight cutaway and looks like crap. So now, look at that. It looks better than a laser cut even when I'm done. And then I just DA the sides and take that little edge off. That's how we do it. So just another little bit of information. When I do trying to figure out my radiuses, it just depends on how big the part is, or if it's more of a square part or a round part. That's how I decide what radius I want to use. Like, say this was a smaller piece and I want to put a window in it, then I'm going to want to go down to something like this. Then I have to punch the corners or drill them and then cut into them and dress them up, which is a lot harder to make smaller windows. These bigger radiuses are nice because I can just cut them on my bandsaw very easily and make the curve. But when you got a real nice tight curve and you're wanting to make a part that looks more square, you don't want this big radius on a little bitty part, because then it just doesn't define the shape of the part. And another thing, if you can't cut straight and grind straight, don't even attempt this, because it's you're not going to come up with the same look. But everyone can do it if you take the time and you learn how to work the tool. Don't let the tool work you. Alright, I've gone in and spotted the crap out of it, and now I'm gonna pull it out of there. I was gonna weld some in there, but I don't think I want to, because I want to make sure it comes out, because at this point, if it doesn't, I can cut it apart. But I've traced where my receiver's going to go. I've got both sides spotted in, so we're gonna drop that thing out of there and see how that tank comes out. Hopefully it comes out nicely. Well, it came out fairly easy. Now, I wish I had just a little bit more clearance, because when I powder coat this thing, she's gonna gain a little bit of, or shrink a little bit, the opening. But I'm gonna get this welded up, and when I weld this, I'm not gonna video it all, but I just kind of bounce around and I stitch, you know, between all my spots, and I'll just kind of move all around the whole thing until I'm done. So that's it. Time to weld. show you what I got going on. So I just want to burn it nice, burn it in, and you see how there's a, you know, it's like a perfect V. Whenever you build something, especially if you plan on sanding it smooth like I do when I get done here, I'm gonna grind this off and DA it so it looks like it was all broke and whatnot. But you want to always make your two pieces come together where they're V'd out, and what that does is gives you a full bead on it, and then when you sand it, it's like the material's there. And I'm not even gonna weld the inside of this. It's blocking the road. Jess is gonna go to lunch with her friend.
Yeah.
She's like, oh no, you're not leaving without me. But Jess said, she goes, I don't know where we're going yet, so I didn't want to take her where we couldn't go in with her. She's doing tricks. She's like, please take me, please. Don't leave me here. I don't want to work.
I know, sorry, I don't know where we're going.
Oh boy. Have a good lunch. I got this all welded up. I'm letting it cool. And I messed up when I made this width. I should have made it a little wider. When I put this on here, I had to shift it that way. So what I'm gonna do to fix it is I'm gonna weld a piece on there. I mean, it's just metal, right? I'm gonna weld a 1/4 inch on there, and then I'm gonna make a gusset that comes down and fill that all up. And then you'll never know, and it'll look nice. And this one's not as much as that one, but same thing. So what I've got over here, I'm gonna start a little long, probably a little bit, barely over a 1/4. I'm gonna shear that off. And that's gonna work out just fine. I'll have to just straighten it, take the twist out of it. Here, little pieces like this, they tend to get a little twist on them, so I just take and put them in here, and I just twist it back and then kind of straighten it out. So something like that, and then I'll just weld it on there, and you won't even know it. Like that. And I didn't even need to do that, but I want it to look perfect when I'm done. Once I sand that off, you won't notice it, and then there'll be a little corner gusset right there. So it should be pretty sweet.
All right, guys, I was just saying, I don't always make good choices, but when I do, it's about food. Check out this burger at the Den. Yeah. Can't wait. Lunch was delicious. It looks like there's some on my shirt, and I know if she got some on her shirt too.
Right there.
That tells you we liked it. So I don't know where we're going now.
It's all about the white.
It is all about the white. Look at that. Guess I should watch where I'm going. I always yell at Shannon for doing this videoing thing.
So Drew's slowly getting everything together. This is like the biggest Swiss watch you've ever seen. I mean, just all the little pieces. And when you don't work on these every day, he said he was missing these brackets, so he had to order them. But he got all the latching and stuff in there, and got the tail lights in, and yeah, he's just like one piece at a time, huh, Drew?
Yep. Make a laundry list.
Yep. And then hopefully next week we'll get our powder coated stuff back. But he started putting the fuel fillers in. He got them all painted up this morning, and we were missing one of the hoses, and so he had to order that. But she is definitely getting closer. Almost ready to put some Petro in it, huh?
Afraid of what?
I said we're almost ready to put some Petro in it.
Yes.
Petro, whatever, gasolina. I'm sure Greg's excited to hear this thing. He said he started on it 10 years ago. Yeah.
That's usually how I end up with projects.
I would kill myself if I had a project that lasted that long. I'm killing myself so I can work on my projects. Okay, we got it all cleaned up. Now let me show you what I got here. So you can see how this is more centered up, and then when I weld this on there, it's gonna look even better, and then it'll have a little bit of a gusset. So we're gonna weld that and sand it up. And then the same thing on this side. I think it's gonna look pretty good. So, something like that. All right, we got these all on here and welded up. Now it's all even looking. So now we just gotta hope that our fuel tank still fits in there after welding it. I hope, because I hate to have to dream up something to fix it. Well, every now and then a guy gets lucky. I did have to get Big Green out and put a couple of wax on here because it was just sucked in a little bit, but it slid right in. So hopefully it does the same after powder. I'm gonna run down to Harbor Freight real quick and get a receiver so I can cut it in and get that done. That way, before I put this up there, I only put that up there once. I marked where everything was so that I can get the receiver up there. I'll have to put the bumper on it and then take the bumper back off, but it shouldn't be too bad. I picked up the receiver. I'm gonna put this back on real quick so we can get figured out what we need to do. I went to Harbor Freight and picked this up. I always get the longest ones because they're the same price, I feel like, for the short one or the long one, and I can make multiple receivers out of this. But I'm gonna start by cutting this off because I don't want that on there. I'm gonna make my own 4-bolt flange that bolts to the bumper, and then we're gonna weld it back here to the bumper. So I'm gonna get this cut real quick and then we'll get started making that flange. All right, we got this where it fits between the bumper and the deal. Now I'm gonna make a flange that's 1 inch bigger all the way around, punch 4 holes in it, and weld some nuts on the back, and then we will get it mounted on that bumper. I'll cut that bumper out. All right, so now I'm gonna put an X through here so I can get the center for all the holes, and then we'll cut in and cut this out. I cut that out, I punched the corners, and I just sliced in, and I got that where that sits flush, and I'll weld that on there once I get this welded up, and then we can mark that and get it on there. Let's go see what Drew's doing over here. He's having fun putting doors together, I think. Whoever put these together the first time, they did a not very good job, he said. He's putting all the foam on, got all the right hardware and stuff to go together. Looks like he knows what he's doing. About like me, huh? Just make it as we go, huh? Yeah. If it don't fit, make it fit. Yeah. He's getting stuff done. Okay, I got this fitting good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this over and hold it up there and trace around it on the bumper. That way I can pull the bumper off and cut the hole, and that's how I'm going to align it once I weld this on. And I'll put the nuts on here and stuff on the bench after I'm done getting it traced around this. So I've transferred this on here. I'm gonna drill the corners, and then I'm gonna take my cutoff wheel, cut that out, and then once we get that all perfect, then we're gonna center this up, and we'll punch these 4 corners, and we'll weld this piece on and bolt it to here, and then we'll just put it back up there, and then all we gotta do is weld it. I was literally kicking ass, ready to knock this thing out, and I drilled this from the backside. Thank God it's only right there, but what a freaking deal. So, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but it's probably going to be, because I want this flush for the license plate, and I'm probably gonna have to weld a stud in there or something, because I can get to the backside with a nut. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So Jess is in a hurry to go see the grandbaby, so I'm giving up tonight for this. We'll put a stud in there tomorrow, just the 2 top ones. I don't know, I might do them all. Then it just stabs it on there, helps hold it maybe. I don't know. Alright, I'm done for the night. See you Friday. You're rushing me. I told her, I said I messed up. She's all, when are we leaving? When are we leaving?
You said I messed up because I was rushing.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, I don't blame her though.
And I said, that's
Yeah.
okay, I wouldn't take the blame anyway.
Well, if you wouldn't have been rushing me.
I see you're using one of my, oh no, that's not my battery.
Yeah,
Oh, but
that one.
is.
Yeah.
I needed to make a video.
Your
with
battery for what? What are you doing? That's a big battery, dear.
that. I know.
You
We
don't
need batteries
what do you,
too.
Not for these kind of,
For my battery.
not these kind of battery. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Consuela.
Time's ticking, babe.
I know. I'm gonna come take a shower. I already told everybody I gave up. I screwed up. Damn it. Well, Drew is working on putting the dash and all the stuff in, and he's like, hey, what do we got for a stereo? And I'm like, I don't know, let me call and find out. And Greg's not really a radio guy, he said, but he said, you know what? He goes, my kids like music, and maybe, you know, he goes, I gave them one of my razors, and the first thing they did was put a system in it. So, yep, Drew, he said, find out what, probably get that head unit, and yeah, we'll put some stuff together. We'll get a hold of Nathan over at Diamond Audio and get some speakers from him. And what's Mrs. Campbell doing?
I have to go to the UPS store, I have to go to Walmart, and I have to go to my office.
Sounds like fun. I'm going to work. We got all kinds of craziness going on this morning. Drew was gonna put the dash in, but we need that speaker in there because we got to make a mount for it. We're gonna do some Diamond Audio stuff. We're gonna put some kick panels. Drew's working on ordering some kick panels, and this thing's getting a couple of bucket seats in it. And we were looking at just different things. Greg decided, you know what, let's just put the stuff in there. It'll look factory in the dash, but it's gonna have Bluetooth and, you know, all the good stuff. But I'm thinking he was wanting a console probably, so we're gonna just concentrate on just getting the stuff in so we can get the dash in. And we might end up making something back here that just looks real fancy and have it where it ties into the console and, you know, gets interiored to match the carpet and stuff. But we're just gonna get a little further along to see that. And we're getting close to making smoke with this thing. We're waiting for a couple of things. Drew's gonna make some fuel lines today. And this stuff, when it comes back from powder coat, we're waiting for a TPS adapter or sensor or something. And we gotta get an upper radiator hose. Got some brackets coming to hold the grill. I mean, this thing's gonna go together real quick. He got all the rubbers and stuff in, the door panels in, they look very nice. Starting to look like a truck. I wish it was mine. It's all nice and shiny. And I'm back onto my bumper stuff. I got to figure out how to fix my screw up from yesterday. I'm gonna probably weld some studs on this bumper and stuff. So we'll figure it out. It's Friday. I got to get some stuff done so we can play. So I think I showed you yesterday, you know, usually I put these in and I flush them to hold my receiver. Well, I was drilling this from the backside yesterday and didn't pay attention, and it's awful close. So I can't get my tool in here. This one's too big. You can see this is one I made for doing something else. I can't remember what I made it for, to reach in for something, but that would work if it was the smaller one. But what I need is to make one of these for this. I just don't have the right, see, I taped this up. What I was thinking is I had this small stainless right here. I was thinking if I could get that centered and then just TIG weld that on there a couple of times, but this is all gonna melt as soon as I do that. I need to start, you know, looking for some different small sleeves to keep around here. It comes in handy when you're doing things through tubes and stuff, but right now this is all I have. This is just 3/8 stainless. So I think that's what I'm gonna have to do and hope that works. Well, I just had another brainstorm. I can take this off and I can find a sacrificial 1/4-inch socket and find one that slides on and TIG weld that, and then just use an extension. I get lucky every now and then. Hopefully it works. And I found this bag of extra snap-on sockets. Find one of these that I don't want, that I can make work. Oh, there it is. 1/4-inch Mac. I don't even have Mac stuff anymore, so there we go. I'm gonna TIG weld that baby on there and we'll be good to go. Okay, let's see what we can do. We gotta TIG weld that. And hopefully it works. Guess I don't even need my rod, just melt it. Now we're just gonna go with 2 spots and see how it works. Okay, that worked out very well. And because we had to use this smaller tapered countersink, not the big one, I'm gonna have to trim the head down on this just a little bit so it fits in there better. So what I'm gonna do is chuck it up in the drill. So we'll just kind of go like this. And let's go over here to the sander. Look at that. I shrunk it a little bit. Now we can take it back over here. See how she fits. All right, looks pretty damn good to me. So now I'm going to put this on here because I don't have the correct length flatheads, so I'm going to cut these off in the bandsaw, cut them to length. So I'll cut 4 of them that length, and then we can and get this project finished, and I was hoping to get this done. I'm waiting for some other stuff, and I was wanting to pull the transmission out of the Ford today so I can get them freeze plugs in it and make it so that truck's actually drivable. And just like that, I got my nuts welded on so everything can come out from the front. Check it out. And then we'll be welding that to that tube. Nice simple little trailer receiver for something small. Everything bolts up nice. So next up, I'm gonna pull this tank back out of here, get my sending unit in it, and once I get that, then we can put it back up. Okay, now I got this out. I'm gonna hole saw a piece of 3/16 because I'm gonna weld this to the top of that tank, just so it has a little extra meat for these because they're just threaded in, you know what I mean? There's no nuts on the bottom side, and we wanna make sure that we don't strip anything out. So for starters, we're gonna go ahead and weld this on there, or hole saw it, weld it on, then I'll hole saw the hole out the center for this size, and we'll be on the road. Well, Drew keeps running into little hiccups. He's got the seats out. These are seats from TMI, and they are separate bucket seats and stuff. And we didn't have the brackets to mount them to the floor. The sliders came with them and everything. So he's looking for a bracket that goes across, or separate or whatever. Greg is wanting me to probably build the center console and whatnot. So I'm thinking I incorporate maybe my speaker amp box into the center console and make it modular, and then we'll have it carpeted and interiored or something. I think it'll look pretty cool when we're all done. Just little hiccups, you know, when you don't work on these things every day, you don't think of all the things. And he had these sent to me a while back, and I didn't want to open them up because I got so much stuff going on in here, as you can see. But we got them open. We're gonna get some brackets, and I got my little piece here. I gotta get that cleaned up, and we'll get that welded in the tank for the sending unit. Turns out I have a weak inventory of tools around here. This, I need a 1 5/8 inch, which I don't have. So I'm gonna have to do some sanding. Drew didn't have one either. We both said we're gonna order them. Damn it. Back to the old redneck way. And Champion CT7s do work pretty good though. Nice and fast. Now I just gotta barrel it open, unfortunately. Oh, look at there. She does do stuff. Puts her own DEF in.
Hilarious.
And they all thought you were just a princess around here.
She
Told
is
me.
one that has to work, like Cinderella.
We'll get to work. All right, I got these now. I just have to tap them, and then we'll vacuum that out of there. When I thought Friday was looking good, and I got this all done, and I messed up like a mother. So turns out my mount this line you see right here, this is my 2-inch tube that I welded under there to mount this. All I had to do is just be right here. Somehow I always put these in the corner and forget about tank straps and bolts, and I'm ready to cry. So the only thing I can do is cut a cutout in my cross member, which my cross member comes to here, and then it's 2 inches wide, which means the only thing I can do is cut that cross member out, strap it in, and then weld another piece of tube over here to keep it strong. Kiss my freaking butt. All right, here's what I got going on. What do you think about that? The only good news is I didn't weld this. It's spotted, but it's critical because I marked this where it was at. I'm just gonna pray to God that I can cut that out of there, cut this, strap it in, make a piece that goes right here, and get that all ready to go. And then the reason I got under here to look was because I knew this was gonna be in the way and I was just gonna cut a piece out. It turns out I gotta cut a lot more than that out. So hang on while I redo some shit on my Friday. All right, so what I did is I cut a piece to weld in here, a piece of strap, and then I got a 1/2 inch size smaller tube, which you've seen me roll it around, and that has made it where it's a little bit tight, but you just go like this, and like this. And like this. And look at that. Perfect fit for a weld. So I'm gonna weld that up. I'm gonna clamp both sides because this is naturally gonna wanna curl up because it's basically cut the whole tube in half. And then I went in and I cut me a tube to back it up on the back side, and I cut that before I pulled it out. That way I knew exactly it's gonna position my cross member perfectly. Cut this piece out. Luckily there was only one spot, so it was easy to break out. I almost screwed up and spotted my piece in, but now we'll get it in there. Well, that wasn't exactly how I wanted to spend my morning. It took me about an extra hour to fix this. Now I just hope everything lines back up, because you know how it is once you take something out, put it back, and I just left it spotted just in case it doesn't fit. I didn't plan on welding any of this stuff till I was done anyway, but we are going to see if she fits. I'll clean up my mess, and maybe Jess and I can still get the tranny out of the Ford. She was gonna help me pull it out because it's kind of a awkward thing with one person and a jack. Drew and I made ourselves a ham sandwich, and Daniel Nugent sent us some bread and butter jalapenos that his wife made, and I put them on my sandwich. Can't wait to try them. All right, Drew and I got us a good lunch. Made Jess some lunch. Now I'm gonna go get this Ford, and I know I probably shouldn't start on it this late in the day, but I'm gonna see about pulling that transmission out and getting these freeze plugs fixed on it. And when I do it, I was going to put in a clutch and throwout bearing and all that stuff, but I might just not worry about it because I am going to tear this thing completely apart. We'll see. Well, we got it in here. I got the front up. Now I need to get the back up. All right, let's get under here and see what she looks like. See what we need, in other words, to get this junk out. Guess we'll start with, doesn't even look like I steamed it, does it? Nasty. So we'll get the drive shaft off, we'll get the shift tower out, and then get the clutch linkage unhooked. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, provided I can balance that thing and maneuver it by myself with, well, Jess is gonna help me, but all right. Oh, I love it when you can get a ratchet on your drive shaft. That sure makes it nice. Oh, I don't like when that happens. And then next, we'll pull this stick out of here so we can let it down, I think. Let's see what the heck. Not even sure how long it's been since I done one of these. Years, lots of years. Then next, we'll pull this off the cross member, this mount. Whoops. Oh, come on, you can do it. What the heck? Did I grab the wrong size? Hang on. Turns out we just needed a 6-point socket because it was kind of rounded out, probably from me, because I just put my impact on it with a 12-point socket the wrong way. So we'll see what the hell happens. We're getting close. I got another bolt over there we'll put in it when we're all done. And check this out. There wasn't even a bolt in this cross member. I knew one of the motor mounts was bad, but this was probably part of it too, just lifting up every time you go to drive it or torque the tranny. So I didn't have to pull that one, but we'll pull this one right here. See. Always going the wrong way, Shannon. I'm not used to working on dirty crap. You know what I mean? All right, next we got to get that Speedo out of there. See if I can get my tool up in there. Oh yeah, gotta love these 1/4-inch wobblies. They're pretty handy. Getting my tools all dirty on this damn Ford, you know? This is a dirty ride. Come on, get on there. So dirty I can't even get my tool on it. Imagine that. All right, so we got that out. Then I put me a jack stand with a piece of wood on the engine. So now I'll see if I can get my jack in here and undo that transmission. All right, I got that cross member out of the way. I got a jack stand under the motor, and I think I'm gonna let this jack down. I got 2 bolt holes on here for my other tranny plate. I think I'll break a freaking strap, something to help hold this thing a little bit, just so I'm not wearing it. I found a piece of flat strap. I'm gonna break it right here and here, and I'm gonna cut it right here, and I'm gonna punch a couple holes in it, and I'm gonna bolt it on my jack right there. Check it out. So this right here, I punched it. It's gonna bolt onto here. I'm gonna break these up real quick. So hang on when I break this. Might have went too far.
Shocking.
I take everything too far, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Everything but my joking, Okay. So my transmission help hold my tranny maybe, so that you don't have to get greasy down here.
I'm trying to go out and suntan.
You're trying to what?
Go out and suntan. And you, by the way, have 4 hours until we're going.
Till we're going?
Don't you love how I'm always giving him a countdown of time? He needs to get a watch that can like buzz on his wrist to be like, "Meh, get ready to the concert." So I need to go get some sun first.
Concerts usually don't start till like 8.
Listen, I told you yesterday 6. You said yes. I bought the tickets. We're
I
going.
thought you said it started at 6, but I didn't think we had to show up until 8, like when the shit starts.
Just finish your shit.
Let me find my bolts. I tell you what, I don't even know how I find time to do anything with all your excursions you had me going on.
I could leave you behind.
Would you do that?
No, never. Ooh, that's so cool, man. Man, your hands are dirty.
I might have to add to this program.
Oh, be careful.
Oh,
Did it fit or no?
well,
I
It
can't
will,
see the
but-
other side.
my bolts are too long.
Okay, stay tuned. Cut.
Okay, I got this on here, and I got it under there. And I was like, you know what? That would be very nice. And then I can strap it, and maybe it won't fall off of there. All right. Well, that's what happens when you get all anal about things and have to make them straight. They break. I know it seems like it takes a long time to do things, but really, it's gonna make it easier for me, I think. And then I got a small strap that I'll ratchet over it. Okay, I got it ratcheted down. Hopefully this works. Let me show you what I got. We'll see. All right, got one there. Let's get this one. Man, I don't know about this. I can't even hold my arms up. They're so jacked up from arthritis. Hopefully this works out, because let's go to the other side. All right. Let's see here. Can't win. Need a little bit longer. I should have undid this side first because it's the hardest to get to. Hey Drew. I might need your help now. Okay. I hope I'm good.
Which side?
Well, there's only 4 that hold that in there, right?
Yes, as far as I know. If that transmission is rusted into the bell housing, and we got the clutch that's going to keep it aligned.
Yeah.
So we got.
So I got all the bolts out.
Okay.
You know what? Let me let this down a little bit and see if that. All the bolts are out. Make sure it don't fall on you, because.
Hold it. Hold it.
It's
loose. It's loose. You
Okay.
just got to pry it apart.
Okay.
So let it down some. Hold on. Oh, that's up where it belongs. Okay. Now let me get a screwdriver so we can pry that apart.
Yeah. Hopefully we get lucky on the angle, and she looks like it needs to go up just a little bit. Oh, the split. Shit.
It's all loose. There it goes. There it goes. Whew. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Don't let it fall on you. I don't know how good my little stand is.
The throwout bearing's probably holding it. It may be stuck on the throwout bearing.
Let me get big prep on.
Let it down just a hair bit. Okay.
Yeah.
There it goes.
She might want to tip back because of
We
this.
got that part. Oh, there you go. That.
Should I go up a little bit?
Oh, there we go. Okay, I got
Wow.
transmission. You do the jack. Let it down a little bit. Watch your arm. Hold it.
Oh,
There you go. Come on down. Yeah, you're golden. You did a good job on that bracket.
Everybody gets
Fucking
lucky
cool.
every now and then, huh?
That was nice. I like it. Hold it. Okay.
All right. I'll probably have to lift the forklift up to get that
Well,
out from under there.
Pull your jack handle down. There you go.
Okay.
There. Now we're out of the way of everything else.
Okay. All right. Well, now I can steam clean that, and I'll clean up my mess under here and see about getting these bell housing and all the freeze plugs out.
And your crushed finger.
Luckily, I was quick. You got to be fast if you want to mess me up. Not. She don't like that extension. Woo. See if we can get this little. Dang it. Where is that short extension? There it is. This stupid button. All right. Oh, chihuahua. Now we need 9/16. Yeah, this baby is rusted from the old freeze plug leaking. She's made quite the mess in here. Whoops. Wrong size, wrong size. Probably get this thing all apart and no one to have the parts, and it'll be sitting here for a week. Then I'll be crying like a little schoolgirl.
That should be a common size freeze plug.
I was gonna put a clutch in it and everything, but I guess we'll see what it looks like.
You want my freeze plug installer?
I might if I. Oh man, if I can. Man, I ain't near as strong as I used to be, that's for sure. Hey, who does flywheels up here? Who turns flywheels up here? I ain't had one done in shit. I think the last time I had one of these done was in the 90s.
Well, you can do like TikTok and start the truck back up and use your grinder on
I
it.
guess we could do that. Some redneckery. Oh.
That ain't right, I apologize.
No, hell, that's what we do up here in the woods, right? Yeah, she needs a, I don't know, that might be not bad. The old pilot bearing, or bushing. Heavy. Well, there we are, folks. There's the nasty little culprit right there. Where's my parts running chick?
Okay.
I gotta go get some parts. I'm taking your car, dear. Yep, that's a nice little hole. Looks like Napa has the stuff. I'm probably gonna put this clutch back in. I'll just kind of sand the flywheel and the flex plate, or the whatever you call it. Well, I finally found one. Show Low Auto Parts. I didn't even know this place was here. Bill's Machine Shop told me. Said they usually have a pretty good selection, and sure enough. And Al, the guy that owns it, very nice guy. I know where to come for parts now. It's pretty convenient right across the street from my friends at Roberts. I haven't been there in a minute, but I'll be back there soon because I'm gonna need some tires on this Ford and that Chevy. Well, Drew got his tool already while I was gone running around. Got our freeze plug ready. Oh, hell yeah.
Silicone the edges for imperfections in the block. You
Yeah.
don't need a lot.
Yeah, they were the only ones that had it over there. I called Bill's Machine Shop, and he said, "You know what? Check Sholo Auto Parts." I was like, "Man, never even heard of it."
No?
But well, I'm gonna get this stuff all DA'd up, and looks like it got a little crusty from the water leak.
Okay. Ready?
See, old Drew's got all the right tools for the job.
Done.
I love it. Thank you, Drew.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yes, we're giving it the old mountain machine job here. It looks pretty good, actually. It looks like it was probably fairly new. And the clutch has a lot of meat on it, so we decided just to use my surfacing machine here. We even resurfaced the old flywheel. Looks pretty good, actually. You can tell it's Friday. I'm in a hurry. LOL. Drew went to go get his alignment tool set. I don't have one, and the parts store didn't have one. Imagine that, a parts store that doesn't have a clutch alignment tool. They used to come in the kits, and I'm not putting a clutch in it because it doesn't need it, so I don't want to waste my money on no stupid clutch, if you know what I mean. But we will Loctite these, get them all in there. Oh wow, maybe we won't. Huh. Well, isn't that normal? It dang it. They gotta be in the right spot. Ooh. Thank God nothing was in the way of that. Oh. Wait. Oh, there's not even. Oh my gosh. That was sketchy. This thing is heavy. That would have hurt my shins. Like I said, I don't have the strength I used to have. I am one weak little boy anymore. Maybe that might be it. Dang it. Let's get one in here and make sure it doesn't do that again. That was pretty sketch. Trying to take out my dancing legs. Mom will be mad if I can't dance with her tonight at the old concert. She likes to go to concerts and stuff. We're gonna go to the Black Moods playing tonight. I don't know if you guys know who they are, but she's been following them forever. I'm a connoisseur of my wife. I could care less about the music, but I like hanging out and dancing. All right, we got them all started. Still got the skin. I don't know, what do you think? Looks tight to me. We put his pressure deal on it, and the freeze plug's good, but he blew out the heater control valve, and he said, oh, there's a leak in the bottom of the radiator. It just never ends, does it, Drew?
Nope. Why we like it.
Yeah. I'm out here steaming this stuff up. I got the transmission all cleaned up and everything. This jack idea worked out very well. I'm pretty happy with it because it kind of had enough wiggle in it where we can get it in the right spot. But yeah, we're gonna get this junk back in there and get it together. Yep. This is my steam pit out here, LOL.
Bearing.
We're going back together with it. We're gonna throw this old junk away. But that was our problems. The clutch looked good. He's got that back in there. Now he's just got to get that cover on there. You need me to hold anything, Drew?
Not yet. Ow, my fucking finger's stuck in the clutch fork.
Oh,
That's a new one.
that don't feel so good. So we got this going back in here, and Drew's getting that throwout bearing all lined up.
Trying to. I knocked the finger off.
Oh,
There we go.
did you get it?
Yep.
It's kind of got a harebrained wire on it. It's kind of a pain in the old goat nads. Piecing up our shaft.
That's good.
And everything's in there and steam clean, so not that the rest of the truck's clean, but at least the stuff we worked on was clean. We hate dirty stuff here. Ah, you piece of shit. Sorry, hang on. Well, she's getting some severe AMSOIL gear to go into the transmission that was empty. The final descent. Then we'll be able to see if we're worth a crap. We know we are. Yeah. All right. See what happens here. Let's go no further. We might not have good luck. No.
Leave it in here for overnight.
Yeah, the your floor might get flooded. We'll let that warm up. All right. We'll take it for a little spin. We still got some stuff to do. Drew said there's a leak in the radiator. I was gonna put some of my Justice Brothers stop leak stuff right there in it. That stuff is magical, but I figured why waste it? I might as well just fix the radiator and then we'll put it in. Thanks for the help, Drew.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, we can't see much, but and we were just laughing. This transmission was pretty much empty, and it's making some just not good noise. I mean,
No.
nothing bad, but
Especially in first gear.
yeah.
Feels like we're riding out of state with all the shit on the windshield, like there's fog.
I had it cleaned up where you can see out of it, but she just got dirty. many motorcycles out there?
Oh yeah.
It's was it bike week or something?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know that anyone's gonna be getting anything ate tonight at no restaurant. Yeah, she's a little noisy.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to give her a little love everything on it. But I tell you what, the steering pretty tight. Everything feels like it could be good, you know? Well, and just in time to go out on date night with old Jess.
We made it back.
I got motor mounts for it, but I don't know that. All right, Drew's on his way out. Well, happy Friday night, Drew. Thank you so much for the help, and yeah, we kicked some butt this week.
That was a good job.
Yes, sir.
All right, have fun at the concert.
All right, well, we'll see you, I'm sure, around at the pub-a-roni or something. Right on. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Thank you.
Oh, look at that beautiful wife of mine taking me to a. Look at.
Oh my
What did
God.
you just say?
She TikToks all the time, and I TikTok all the time, and I watch her all the time. All the time. I love you,
Yeah.
Diana.
What the hell? See what I'm saying? My wife is always gone TikToking. We're at the Lions Den though for the concert. Thank God. Well, we're here. Anthony's inside, but we'll catch him in a minute. Well, made it here, and we're getting something to eat. It's a good night. It's Saturday. I got me a nice little haircut. We got a wedding to go to later today, and I figured I'd tinker with the old Ford for a little bit. I picked up that dash from Temu, which looks pretty good, and I'm working on putting it in right now, so I'll let you know how it looks. This is what it looks like after I pulled it out. We got to do a little wiring cleanup. I'll probably have Drew do some stuff to this when I get time. I'm gonna strip this thing out. I think Pete is gonna come up and help me take this thing apart, and someone painted it and made it look all nasty. I need to get a new dash pad for it and just a bunch of dumb stuff, but someone hacked this radio in here, which I don't even know if it works, but I'm gonna see about fixing that dash, and I don't know, maybe I'll make like an aluminum little template or something to go over it to make it look a little better. But right now it looks like crap. And how do you like these green doors? Who the hell would paint their doors that color? That's disgusting. But anyways, let's go over here. It's been a long time since I worked on one of these. And here's the new dash. So we'll see if I can get it on there. Well, let's see what this looks like under here. This all looks nice. Whoops. We're gonna have to put a little super glue on some stuff maybe, so it holds better. Clean up this junk. Oh, cool. I'll be able to clean this lens up. Very nice. This thing isn't looking so hot. It's kind of messed up. I think I'm gonna get my little polisher and some polishing sauce that we use on the cars, or whatever you call it. I can't even, and see if I can polish this thing up a little bit, take some of the yellow out of it.
What are we doing?
I'm trying to get the yellow out of this. And I'm installing your Temu dash.
My Temu dash?
Yeah, this is your dream truck, dear.
That was yours. Shannon can't stay off Temu, you guys.
Yeah, well, this was my first Temu buy. Look at that. That is beautiful.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, look at this one compared to this one. Is that hideous or what?
Yeah. This one doesn't say Ford though.
Oh, well, it should say China or Temu.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Let me see
I
that.
didn't even notice that it didn't say Ford. They can't sell them that say Ford, probably.
Probably not.
Yeah, check that out. That's all pretty clean in there. I just gotta clean it up, and these little things around the lights falling out, so I gotta glue them back in, but yeah, pretty soon this dream truck of yours will be one color.
That's your dream truck.
Yeah.
You've always wanted a Ford.
Does anybody know anybody that does cool patina? I've seen this guy on the internet that I can't think of something McGibbons or something that looked like he's from Indiana, but I love the patina stuff that he does. It looks real. I don't like it when it's shiny, but I'm thinking something like patina, make this thing look patina, and the Land Cruiser I need to do. So if anyone knows anyone that does that stuff really good, let me know. What's Pebbles doing? Pebbles. Check that out. Almost looks new. Well, I went to go put this on, and it has these up here on the Ford dash, but on the Temu dash, it doesn't have them. I don't know that it needs it, but I don't know, I could probably silicone it on there and then install it, and then it'll stay there.
Here's your wallet back.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to forget it.
She's always taking my wallet. Thank you, dear. Is there anything left in it or cobwebs? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty happy with my Temu dash, even though it doesn't say Ford. Look how clean that thing looks compared to this nasty looking thing that someone tried painting. They spent $64 worth of paint, and I got $64 worth of Chinese gold. So the headlight switch was falling out, and I don't know if any of you have ever pulled one of these out, but you pull it out so far, and right underneath here there's a button on there, and you push that in and then pull, and this pulls out, and then you can tighten this. So now we will just put this back in here, plug it in, and we'll clean that wiring up later. We'll get Drew after that. I don't touch wires. I don't know much about wires. Not much at all. Man, someone sure has painted up a mess here, huh? So we gotta get this back up here, and I'm gonna have to plug the speedometer back in, or thread it in, whatever, if I can get it up there. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. I'm gonna have to move you for a minute, buddy. Man, these lights sure do come in handy, these little headlamps. Whoa. All kinds of nasty paint work that they did. Absolutely disgusting paint work. But what do you do? I gotta get some more screws too. Half the screws were missing out of this dang thing. But it sure looks nice. Now just imagine when the rest of the dash, I'm gonna put it back to normal, it'll all be white. I'll paint it. I think we're gonna paint this thing Wimbledon white, but I'm wanting to make it look patinaed. All right, me and Mrs. C are gonna go for a little ride in the Jeep. It's bike week up here. We're gonna go cruise around. Next, I'm gonna have to see if I can get this dash off of Temu. All right, we're going for a little Saturday cruise.
What was that?
That door.
Oh.
Heading over, go check out the bike week thing and get some tacos. Oh yeah, I got my hair products.
That's our buddy.
And I ran into our friend Tracy. Where's
Hey,
Heidi
guys.
at, man?
Heidi's actually napping from a lot of golf.
I know.
Oh my gosh, a lot of golf.
Yeah.
She is a
Check
golfer.
out his ride. It's the first time I've seen it. Pretty sweet. Kind of looks like the one that I used to have. Got a little more interior than mine had.
They're fun to drive up here.
Oh yeah. She's like, it ain't no V8. I'm a V8 kind of dog, even though she's mad at me because we didn't take her on our little ride. But we went to go eat some Mexican food and we didn't want to leave her in the Jeep. Well, we're going to a wedding now.
In the Jeep.
And this is the only ride we have right now because Tio borrowed this.
It's not the only
car.
ride we have.
Well, it's the
we
only-
have a shitload of rides.
Well,
But this is the one we're taking. to
yeah.
the wedding.
You need help getting in, dear?
No.
I'd get the door for you, but you know how it is. They're
You
not.
already did.
They're non-existent.
Yeah.
Well, we've made it to the gathering place for the wedding. This is where my buddy Miller got married. Very often you see Steve all dressed up. Usually he's got shorts on. How you doing, Sam? Jess wouldn't let me bust out my camera during the deal. Smile, you guys.
Just trying to take a picture of these hooligans.
We're just looking now.
All natural.
Congrats, Jamie and Garrett.
Yes.
Weddings! Line to the bar. That's where everyone's at.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Wandered back down this way. I'm glad I got
Oh my God. Am I being called or?
All nice and pretty in here. And my beautiful wife.
Bring me back, back, bring me back, bring me back, back, bring me back to me, bring me back.
This is Angela.